Yo, it's your boy DT from DT's Unfiltered, Uncensored. On the third episode of my series, The Journey in the Music of the Sound, the music. She threw me out. I didn't hear what she just said to me before the show.
Oh, man.
And she was talking about Bob Brown in this episode. Well, this is your boy DT. You're on DT's Unfiltered, Uncensored. And as you know, we've been talking about the different eras of music. We started out with the 70s. The last episode was the 80s. Now we're on to what I consider my favorite era of music over any era. Even though I love the 80s,
Yes.
the 90s, nobody compared to the 90s. And we're talking about the soundtrack of the 90s. And I have my guests who were joining me on the prior two shows. They're with me again. Once again, I got to my right, the lovely lady, the one who loves Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Reminds her of the 80s.
Yeah.
Bobby. Yeah, Bobby. My prerogative. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
One
for
and
having
only.
me.
Yeah.
I already know what you was gonna say.
Oh, black women, you know the answer. Welcome to the show, Keisha.
Hi. Hello.
All right, thank you for being a guest once again.
Thank you for having me.
Are you ready to talk about the 90s?
Oh, let's talk about R. Kelly. Let's do it.
Oh, boy, she already bring out the gun of blaze and Paul. And to my left, which is your right, is the face behind the best music podcast, not music platform on Instagram, is my guy, Soulface Media. Sean, welcome to the show, man.
Yes. Thank you, DT, for having me again.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
No problem. You ready to talk about the 90s?
Let's go. My favorite era.
Okay, your favorite, because she already do the shots over here. Cause we gonna get some smoke on this. We gotta get some smoke. And I ain't talking about this one you smoke in the car either when you with your friends and you got the window rolled up because you don't want to lose the buds. But that was done a lot in the 90s, and plus it was in the 80s. So the soundtrack the rise of hip hop soul started in the, and I know one of your favorite artists is the one who catapulted the 90s in hip hop soul, which is the incredible artist, Mary J. Blige. She really, to me, she's
the best.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was asking your facial expression for a second. What thing about hip hop soul, I think she's the one that kind of brought it together when she came out. You got the soul part because she was soulful, and she was the hip hop because she had the bands, and then she was
the 411.
Yes.
But I'm gonna backtrack you real quick. Let's not forget Toni Braxton. When I think of 90s, I think of Toni.
Well, I was talking about hip hop soul though.
Okay.
Now I'm talking about just soul because Toni Braxton soul. I see hip hop soul. I see she already.
We can't forget about my girl.
We're gonna get to Miss Braxton, Miss Toni Braxton. 7 whole days.
We're
gonna get there.
One of my favorite Toni songs. That's up there for me.
And Breathe Again. Yeah, I sometimes I didn't breathe. Yeah, we're gonna get to Toni Braxton. I promise you. I love Toni.
We can talk about MJB because that's my girl.
Okay, so let's talk about MJB. What was it about MJB that was such an impact in the music?
Her style. Let's just start with her style. Everything.
You remember the knee pads?
Yes.
The knee pads in it?
Yes. With her jersey shirt.
Yeah.
Hat cut to the back. Like, absolutely. Her style was like it for me.
What about you with Mary J?
Okay. My first memory of Mary J, because of course the 90s is the era that I did, live in real time.
Right.
Growing up through. My first memory of Mary is the I'm Going Down video. One of my aunts, because my family is heavily influenced in my personal taste in music. So one of my aunts, like, she was really into music videos and she would record them on VHS tape. And around that time, so it was like late 1994, early 1995. That's where my memory kicks in, period.
Yeah.
Music is one of those things for me too. So that's my first memory of Mary J. Blige. But I was never really like a big fan of I'm Going Down, but Be Happy was the song
absolutely
that really kind of gravitated me towards her. There's another one of my aunts. She used to have a big, y'all know them old big CD binders full of CDs. She had the My Life album.
I had that.
And even though they were young adults, teenagers at that time, like we weren't around like a lot of kids our ages. So we were always around like young adults and
Yeah.
teenagers. So I feel like me and my sibling and my cousins, we kind of always had like a mature spirit or whatever because of that. And she would play that My Life album all the
Running through
time.
the
So
ground.
that's like my first
Yeah.
recollection of Mary. And then of course as I got older, I started tapping back into what's the 411, which all of that stuff was still in rotation on the radio
Mhm.
anyway. But it was just something about her swag,
Yeah.
her sound and her swag that just
That
really
rasp. Yeah.
gravitated me towards her.
Yeah.
I think one of my first memories of Mary J. and Reminisce. That was
Yeah.
on that
Yeah, that's my
song.
jam.
That's my jam. I think one of my
Mhm.
favorite ones of hers is Not Gonna Cry. That one
Mm.
right there.
I think the thing for me with Not Gonna Cry is that they ran that song was on the radio.
I
Yeah.
know.
Um,
But see, you know what stood out? I think the video because that went Angela
Yeah.
Bassett. When
right.
Wayne that said, I love that.
Yeah.
That scene to me is still the favorite when she threw the
Yeah, it's a
what?
classic for
Yeah.
sure, but depending on how I feel, I might skip
Yeah.
Right.
No, mine is My Life for sure.
But you know one thing I always said about Mary J. One thing about her, she boy, if you like in a bad mood, she's not the one you want to listen to.
That's
That
who
cause,
you
'cause-
want to listen
no, because you get real pissed off then.
for me.
Yeah, see,
I think with me and emotion sometimes whenever it comes to music, because I guess growing up a lot of times like I connect with the melody and stuff first, and
Yeah.
then like the older I got, then I started going
Yeah.
back, listening, paying attention to the lyrics because you could comprehend it better or whatever. Because like I said, I grew up in the '90s. I was born in '91, but it don't matter. I can listen to basically anybody, and I can kind of like make myself feel
Mm.
happy. It don't even matter if it's like a sad song. I guess it just really like depends.
Yeah.
Because even like if the melody, even if the subject might be about something that's might be like negative or I might be feeling
Yeah.
down or whatever. If the beat is like if the melody is kind of like up tempo or I guess like light, make me feel good, then I think it's the melody.
Yeah.
I- but I just know I knew. To me, I feel like I know Mary J. was going through a lot of shit back in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
90s.
That's
Boy,
why
to those songs,
passion.
boy, you
Yeah.
heard it in her song, like, boy, I said, hold on, piss Mary J. Blige off now.
And it's like it's a gift and a curse, or a win and a lose maybe, because on one end it's like, damn, why she got to go through that to put out this great music, and then it's
Right,
like, damn, this music's so great,
Right.
and I need it,
right.
and I'm gonna listen to it.
And see, I don't know, y'all didn't know about this, but I have managed two artists before. I actually got a mixtape out right now. Make sure you go listen to it on my Instagram. I'll go click the link. I got a mixtape out. I dropped 3 years
Okay.
ago. Um
Okay.
um
Check it out.
and I tell everybody, artists be asking me about advice. They'll talk to me. I be trying to say, you gotta make, like I tell, the best music that can catch somebody's attention is heartbreak. When you're talking about something painful,
Heartbreak or hurt?
yeah,
Not
heartbreak.
necessarily
Yeah, not
heartbreak.
mad, but I'm just saying something like a painful, like
Yeah.
you talking about a happy relationship. Nobody really want to really hear that much, but when they hearing something about they going through a bad time, people love that because that's what they listen to when they going through that. Nobody, it's not
And
too
it's
many.
relatable. People are gonna really resonate with what
Yeah.
they can relate to. So
And the biggest hits, some of Mary J. Blige's biggest hits, is her going through
yeah,
pain and suffering. So I
Yeah.
always tell people that what sells. You got to sometimes to me, I always say you got to do what the masses like first. And once you get
right,
established and you dare, then you start doing what you want to do.
right,
But right now, I know you like this and this is what you want to do. Do it. I'm fine. Do that. But it's not going to get you to that next level. Do what everybody wants you to hear. Because and then people say, well, that's a sellout. No, it's not a sellout. You're just trying to get your foot in the door. Once you get your foot in the door, because when you apply for a job, you don't tell the job everything the truth. You tell them what they want to hear, so you get the job. And once you start doing the job, then okay, you established. So now it's time for me to do my focus on my agenda and get to that next level.
Yeah.
That's why I say about music. You got to do what the people want to hear. And once you get there, boom, then you start putting out your like, okay, they did it. So you slowly, gradually evolve into your music while you
mhm,
still keeping what your fans like. Then when your fans hear your new music, they been you gonna hear quite a few that, I like that. You gonna have something? No, I don't like
Yeah.
that. But you know what you gotta do. So I say it's about if you're trying to get into business, you know what you gotta do. But some of the artists don't want to listen. Now I'm gonna keep putting out this, and that's why the artists who I was managing are now back working a 9 to 5 because they didn't want to listen. And they would put out what they thought was good. And they got mad with me.
Yeah,
But
it's a strategy to
Yeah.
everything.
I wish I be strategy.
Yeah.
But not to jump off subject. That just popped in my head because I like what Mary J. Blige brought to the table and
Yeah.
her words, what she used, the music, the melody, everything. That's why Mary J. Blige have lasted so long in the music industry and stuff like that. And one thing I don't know if y'all know this, they was trying to get her to do a verses, and she turned it down, and she said it was only one person that she was on one person that she would do a verses with. That's the only way she'd do it, which was surprising. It was my girl. And they good friends, Janet. She said that's the only person she would have did a verses with was Janet because her and Janet are like sisters. And she said they could go hit for hit. But she said there's nobody else I want to sit up there and do a verse.
I don't feel like she needs to.
She don't know.
Yeah.
That's what she said. She didn't feel like
artists, like even Janet, like who she gonna go up against?
But no, she said she didn't need one.
Yeah,
She
but
said, I
I'm
don't
just
need her,
saying,
but she said if
it's
she did
certain
one.
artists, I mean, it's really no point.
I mean, I did want her to do a verse because I just love to see Mary.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Because I think my favorite verses I seen was actually Brandy versus Monica. I think
that wasn't my favorite though.
That was one of my
good
favorites.
one. I was saying it was a good one. I don't think
off topic. I think for me with that one, it was Earth, Wind, and Fire in the Eyes. We did not go to sleep. Remember, they did not stop until like right at midnight or after midnight. I remember that because we had a good time.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
That
I
was
did
a
see
good
that.
one. But okay, better MJB. Sorry.
So we go move into the boy bands and girl bands of the 90s.
Yeah.
So we have some of our like Boys to Men, TLC, Escape, After 7, New Edition was out there. We had she looked at her watch. Jordan.
Somebody text me.
Oh, I thought you looked at like nigga
no, somebody text me. I'm sorry.
Okay, Jordan C. I mean, it's just so many groups out there, and I think to me, huh?
Oh, I just said public now.
Public now, yeah, so many groups. So we had
get into it.
So when you think of boy bands or girl bands, who are the top 2 on your list that you think of? Number 1 boy, number 1 girl. If you just right now, you just off the top of your head.
Got a shot. I gotta think.
This is an easy one for me.
Yeah, I know who his first one is.
I actually saw my top 2 last summer in concert, and it's Jodeci and SW.
Yes, I seen SW concert. Yeah. Never seen Jodeci.
I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I saw them in Charlotte.
Yeah. I guess when it comes to bands, I don't really have a top in the 90s.
I think who stand out for you?
I mean Jodeci for sure. They definitely stand out. You got Escape for sure. Like he said, SWV. Who else? Trying to think because my mind is just on Toni. So it's just crazy.
Quick question.
We can say the Braxtons. Were they out in the 90s, right? They were, but go ahead. I'm listening.
SW or Escape, who you choose?
Who would I choose?
Yeah. Who you think should headline that tour they on right now? Who should be the headliner? No, who should close the show? Let's rephrase that. They had one group close the show. Who closing the seat?
SWV.
What about
you? Who's closing?
Who you think should close that show? Escape or SWV?
SWV.
What song would you, if you was managing, who you tell, what song you would make them close with? You I think this song y'all need to close.
Because I feel like, but okay, I'm gonna do it based off of this. Closing based on the masses, I would probably say Weak or Human Nature Remix because those are like their 2 most popular songs, I guess. For the masses, but if it was me, I would mix. Yeah, but my personal favorites about them are like album cuts. So, but I feel like from a masses point of view, probably Anything Remix.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with SW. It'll be a clean sweep. I like Escape, but I think SW was like the group of the 90s, and to me, I think they're still more popular than Escape. Escape more popular in the States. SFV more popular worldwide because they went overseas and they were selling out overseas in different countries. I'm gonna just be honest. Love Escape, they can't go overseas.
I mean,
they could sell, but they're not gonna sell because SFV was just touring over there, just like TLC. TLC go overseas and sell out like crazy.
Yeah, they were the highest selling group.
Yeah,
you know, at one point.
Speaking of the 90s, TLC.
Right.
TLC.
They're my girls.
When you know what gets me, people compare Destiny Child to TLC. I like that you can't compare the two because I feel like they totally two different
styles for sure. But I feel like the reason why people probably compare them because it's like 3 females versus 3 females, even though Destiny Child started out
with
4.
But-
You know,
Did they start off with 4 or 5?
They started with 4.
yeah,
They started with 4.
remember Beyonce, Kelly, Latoya, Luckett, and Latavia?
Well, they had 5, but that person never made it to the official, made it to the group.
that's
They
what
never
I
made it.
Yeah.
Funny note on this: one of the artists that I seen her perform live, I actually interviewed her on my show. Erin Stevenson. She actually a background singer. She actually doing her own career now. She actually a background singer for Janet Jackson. In the past, you may say I don't know, y'all wasn't following me then, but I posted her and I went to see her on concert. She had a show here recently. She actually was supposed to be part of Destiny Child. She's from Texas, Houston, and she was supposed to be part of just Destiny Child. And it didn't work out. She didn't go to the story with me because she did it. It was on the interview. It's on it's all streaming on my platform. I go look at my interview I did it with her. She said she was actually supposed to be part of Destiny Child. She was actually in the group, and then something happened. We never got into the conversation, but it didn't work out for. But she had a great career because she been a background singer for so many. Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, Jennifer Lopez, Duran Duran, En Vogue, Rihanna. So she done did her
for sure.
So she did all these, but no, me just saying that is she was supposed to be part of Destiny Child. But I don't like the comparison between the two because I feel like TLC is brought a different energy, a different style. There were 3 of them, and they had a rapper with 2 singers, and vocally, no, they weren't on Destiny Child level, but they didn't need to be.
Right.
We wasn't caring about. We was like, oh my god, we want to hear we were caring about the quality of music they put out, which was good.
Right, and that's one thing that I appreciate about the 90s, and I mean every era, but I feel like the 90s you really had a diversity in singing styles and just the sounds and what everybody brought to the table. Like no person sound like one person, whereas in like today, like you can really hear like the similarities amongst artists.
And then crossing over, we're gonna jump into the crossover from pop music to R&B, which brings to one of the greatest voices of all time, definitely in the top 5 to me, Mariah Carey, hands down. I'm gonna be honest. I became a fan of Mariah more when in the early 2000s because I was one of them back in the day that Janet was competing against y'all. So no, I'm sorry. I want really fucking with you. I want fucking with you because it was Janet. So I wasn't like, yeah, Mariah. Like, no, not Mariah. Oh no, because y'all was even though they weren't really competition because they was in their own lane. They both were selling music. But to me, it was pitting women against women, just like you pit men against men. It was kind of like, no, the same way with Usher. I like Usher, but it was other solo artists. I'm not a fan of them because I'm Usher fan and stuff like that. So no, but no, Mariah Carey when she came into the scene, we haven't seen nothing like that. Honestly, I did not know she was half black. Until damn near 2000 when they were talking about it, I thought she was a white woman the whole time. Just cross over into.
She was definitely mixed.
Yeah, but I thought she was a white woman. You look at it first thing you think it was a white woman crossing over into the R&B sector. But then when you get to know her, and I love how she speaks, she let you know she biracial. She don't come out because you got some out here. They will. Nah, I'm trying to keep white. I want, even though they know they biracial, I want to be. No, she's not going to tell you that, and I respect that about her. So, what did y'all think about when she came onto the scene when Mariah popped up?
I loved it. I loved her black side.
She was already on the scene when I got here.
Yeah.
But when my first recollection of her is Fantasy, so like 95, like I said, when I can actually retain stuff. Fantasy was for sure my song.
Yeah, always.
By then, she had already kind of crossed over from the more because she was doing like the more poppy
Yeah.
type of stuff in like her first and second, album. But by the time Daydream came out, she had a little more of an R&B edge, and then each album after that is you started getting more of that R&B vibe. She started working with Jermaine and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, I thought she was cool. Yeah, like I said, Fantasy is rec- my first recollection, and then One Sweet Day I love. One Sweet Day
Yeah.
I listen to that all the time.
Yeah.
As well. I just think it's a very beautiful, beautifully constructed song, and they just
I'm gonna say this, and I want to apologize because I was following the narrative. I was just following the trend when people used to get on her when she started going so with Puffy and Jermaine Dupri. Oh, she want to be so black. I fell into that group.
But
I
how
want,
can she want to be so black and her mama black?
but see, the thing about that, you got to realize, I told you I didn't know she was
Right.
biracial. So I was
Yeah.
following to that trend with everybody else. I was just going with the man. Oh yeah, Mariah just want to be black. That's what she doing in music, not knowing that she was half black. I'm telling you, because I didn't really watch Mariah until, like I said, when 2000 came around. Then I actually started paying attention. Everybody said I always thought she was a white woman and she just doing songs with black artists. So I fell into that group. Then when getting to know her and listen to her talk and actually paying attention. So the whole time, so she is biracial. And I respect what she's saying. So that's why I say I felt sometimes we fall into that group just because of what we hear. And I fell into that. And like I said, I apologize because now I look back and I respect what Mariah has done and how she carried herself. And she was being herself. She wasn't trying to be nothing else. She was not trying. She was being Mariah. That's what she was. So I respect that now. Looking back on it. So that's why I say now as older, I can look back on and understand my faults and my mistakes. What I thought. Now I see different. And my favorite, and I would tell people, I think vocally, my favorite song that she ever sung was My All. I think to me
That's a
vocally,
good one. I remember.
love that. I love that vehicle. Boy, she be
I'm
singing
gonna
that.
go into the 2000s. I'm not gonna stick into the 90s when it comes to my favorite song. Oh, well, no, what my favorite song is. Fly Like a Bird.
I
that
love
was
that.
nice
I love it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
That
And
was
I
on
like
repeat
Honey
too.
too.
Yeah.
Honey, I remember when Honey first came out, I was like in first grade.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember seeing the video all the time, and I was like really big on Mace
Yes.
and Bad
Puffy.
Boy. Like
Yeah.
I just was really, yeah. It's just unfortunate, the situation with him. But like I really looked up to him. Like yeah, but like I was real big on Mace and this Bad Boy at that time because they was really running shit. Like
Right.
they were really running shit. Yeah, so I enjoyed the video. It was
So also, Usher was like kind of
yeah.
popish, and he crossed over. He first came. Now I'm gonna tell you, my least favorite Usher song is that's his first song. Just Call Me a Mac. Boy, when that song came out,
I
I was like,
like that
I did not
song.
like.
I like that
I did
song.
not say. I like what
We
is
love that song. Look.
that's
Yeah, I
my
like that
least favorite
song.
Usher song, and it was his first. I kind of just come out like
My least favorite by him, I guess, from the '90s era would probably be the first single off the actual album because this Call Me Mac is off the Poetic Justice soundtrack.
Mhm.
But he had a song that was produced by Devontae Swing called "Can You Get With Me." I don't know why, but I'm not a fan of it. But the next single that he dropped, "Think of You," and I don't know, it did all yeah. I don't know
Yeah, I
if
know that.
Chucky Thompson had produced that or not, but I think Faith Evans got like songwriting credits on it or whatever. But yeah, that's my first recollection of Usher is "Think of You."
See, my
Always
first one
fucking
is
with that.
just Call Me Mad. That's
Yeah,
my
that was
first
Yeah,
one.
that was a little that was a little like before I can remember, but I mean like eventually.
Yeah.
But Nice and Slow was that
That was your song?
Nice and Slow. I love
I
that.
don't even know if I could choose
Oh yeah, it's hard.
what my favorite
Usher
song from
song
Usher
is
song would be.
yeah. I don't have like a
I
favorite
don't have a
Usher
favorite.
song, but that My Way era was like
Yeah,
yeah,
for
like
sure.
I
JD did his
remember.
thing. Yeah.
I remember when you mentioned Nice and Slow. I remember when Nice and Slow came out. I was in first grade, and we were.
Make you feel old.
Yeah, I know,
In
right? It
first
made me
grade.
feel old,
How
but
long make me feel old?
but we were me and my class. We was on the way to a field trip, and we was at the back of the bus singing. They call me US.
Man, I thought you.
GRRA. I mean, you can't tell us nothing.
I thought you said your bus was playing. I was like, boy, they were playing that for y'all on the bus.
I don't know if it was playing on the bus or not, but I know we was on the back of the bus singing on the way to the field.
Y'all had y'all little tape to say. I must like a buzzer. The bus playing that for y'all. Boy, y'all bus y'all wilding.
Yeah, I couldn't choose. I love Usher.
Yeah, I love Usher.
But I like it while we out. Sure.
So we finna get to a topic that she's gonna love. Female R&B dominant. So we have the likes of Whitney Houston, Toni Braxton, and Aaliyah. Which we're gonna start with Toni. And I bought Toni when it first came out. Toni Braxton. I love that picture. She was so beautiful in that first picture.
Toni Michelle, yeah.
That whole album, that's a skip through album.
Yeah.
That whole album.
Babyface
and Daryl Simmons did it.
Yeah.
I remember when that came out, I was living in Alabama. That's why that album suddenly I stayed in Alabama for 6 months. When that album dropped, I was living in Alabama. That was the worst 6 months of my life because I never want to live in Alabama again. But I remember Toni. That was Toni. So every time I think of that album, it brings up Alabama. So I would never, ever, ever forget that. And I remember when I first heard Breathe Again, I was in a car with my friend and his parent mom, and they was taking us to we were going to some little place, some little trip, some people taking us somewhere in the country. I ran and was playing in the car. And then I still remember that to that day. And ever since then, I like Toni.
That's one of my favorites.
I love Toni.
That album, what you think about that album? Let's talk about that album. Just as a whole.
I mean, it's really nothing to talk about. It's great. It is the greatest. Like, that's one album if she made any more albums after that, that's cool, but she didn't have to.
So you saying like Lauryn Hill's Education, like that's how album, like she didn't make she could have stopped right there and could have just toured off that album.
She could have, but she didn't have to, but everything. She was on Boomerang soundtrack, Waiting to Exhale. She was the it girl. Everybody wanted her haircut. Not everybody, but everybody loved her. I love her.
Y'all gonna laugh at me on this. At one point, I thought Halle Berry and Toni Braxton were the same person. When I seen Boomerang, I said, hold on, are they the same person?
Yeah,
the same person. They both beautiful. Both of them had the same half style. They were both beautiful. I said, are they the same person? But no, I realized they wasn't. But I used to think they was the same person.
If I had to choose a favorite song,
off that album, well, give me at least two you like that you would jump to as soon as you play it.
That specific album, 7 Whole Days. 7 Whole Days for sure.
You want to skip 7 Whole Days?
No.
I said she would jump to. She would jump to a song.
No.
Should have brought you home last night. That's one let's do first.
How many ways?
Many ways I love you.
Or I could go with Let It Flow.
The two that I'm gonna. Well, that's not on that album.
Let me count the ways.
But that's
you just don't know.
So like our two.
I would just asking her. I know she loved that album. I would ask her off that album because we know we would talk about that.
Off that album, for me, it's 7 Whole Days and Another Sad Love Song.
Another Sad Love Song, absolutely. We're gonna play that.
Yeah, I love should have brought you home. Like, cause that's one
that one of my favorites.
But they ran it.
It used to be like. I mean, it's still up there. It's in my top 5, but
that's the anthem for Black women right there. When her men don't come home, like, love should have brought your ass home last night.
7 Whole.
I like Boomerang too, but 7 Whole Days just hit different. Like the live version too is just.
It's amazing. She's grery.
What about Whitney? Well, let's talk about Whitney in the 90s because Whitney was an impact. I mean,
she was definitely
Bodyguard soundtrack and everything.
She's another one that I would consider multi-generational.
Yeah.
She did what she had to do. 2 hard-hitting albums in the 80s. Then she starts the 90s off with the I'm Your Baby Tonight album. I feel like that the single itself, I'm not a big fan of that song. And I honestly feel like that particular album is overrated.
Which album?
The I'm Your Baby Tonight album.
I agree with
my opinion. The only song that I really care for on that album is All the Man I Need. I think she's very, she executed very powerfully. But even outside of that, she did The Bodyguard, Waiting to Exhale. So I feel like on the acting tip in the 90s, I mean, it was just like a win-win, like
Yeah.
music and acting. Like she was doing her big one. Her Bodyguard soundtrack is dope. She had some smashes off of that. I feel like the Bodyguard soundtrack is more stronger than the tonight,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
in my
definitely. Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, I agree with you on that.
The Waiting to Exhale album, she had what, a song or two on there, but
Yeah.
it was just still something that she was a part of. The movie was a smash.
What was your favorite role between the preacher's wife, bodyguard, or on Waiting to Exhale?
Waiting to Exhale,
Savannah. He's a good man.
yeah, Waiting to Exhale. Even though I didn't understand it
I
at
said
that age, that was probably one of the first movies I remember from my childhood.
I like Waiting to Exhale. I only seen it once. I liked it, but I'll go bodyguard. I seen bodyguard multiple
Not
times.
once.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Bodyguard.
I, I like that 'cause that was her first role, so it was kind of like made me really respect her craft. So I did like, and she was being a bitch in that, so that made it even better. I like when you play that role, play somebody that you're not like.
Yeah.
That gets me
And
when I can.
of course, like coming from a woman's point of view, I just like Waiting to Exhale because you get different women's point of views on their love lives and things like that. But
My favorite character was Loretta Devine.
yeah, but Whitney, I just I just felt like just watching it, like, and then seeing how she was like on being Bobby Brown and like little biops and things like that or whatever.
Yes, complete
I
opposite.
felt like it was a complete opposite, but that's like how she was.
Right.
Like her character was like Savannah because she had a great relationship with her mom. So, she'd call her mom for advice and things like that. So I just felt like that was like her being in her comfort zone. Whereas the other two movies, like Preacher's Wife and all that,
See, I
I've
like that.
never I've never seen The Preacher's Wife from top to
it's
bottom.
good.
I have because and then Denzel being I go by.
Yeah,
I don't miss nothing Denzel. I think I've seen
I'm
every
check
Denzel
it
movie,
out.
and
and
I
I
think
guess. Oh, go ahead. I'm
it
sorry.
was a song. What was the song from the Preacher's Wife that she did? That was my favorite. One of my favorite Whitney
When she
songs.
was singing in the church.
No, it wasn't on the soundtrack. She did on the soundtrack.
It's not I Believe in You and Me. That's not that.
Oh,
That's one of my favorite Whitney songs. I love that song. I believe in you and me. I do believe in you.
Speak while we on 90s and while we on Whitney. I love and because this is late 90s and we were already talking about Mariah, I love When You Believe, and her and Mariah
ooh,
came together for that.
Yeah, I did
I
too.
love the
I
message
love that
and
battle.
I love that song. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Love it, especially when it plays in the movie Prince of Egypt. Like
Yeah.
definitely. I
that
agree with
song
that.
make me cry.
You know, cry with it.
No. I'm saying like,
If I played it, would you start crying?
I mean, it depends on how I
I'm
feel.
popping on.
Like it depends. Like music, I don't even have to be going through. I don't have to go through anything to just start crying. I can look out the window while the trees pass and start crying, just listening to a song.
So we could talk about and rest in peace to this artist. I think she's fabulous. Leah.
That was my girl.
I love
Uh,
Aaliyah.
that was my girl. I love Aaliyah. Probably one of the first songs that I can ever remember is Back and Forth.
Yeah.
Um, and it was just a bop. It was that's yeah,
It's
yeah.
Friday.
Let me ask y'all a question. This is a question I go wait till the show because I want to ask y'all first. And I told this a lot of people and they told me I was crazy. I said, Monica and Brenda ain't got nothing. I know vocal wise, yes, but I said to me, Aaliyah was the girl.
I
I feel
I
like at that time she was probably the most popular. Um, so I get what you're saying in that sense, but I feel like all of them are in their own lanes. Like you can't
yeah.
really compare them. But I get I see what you saying and why you said it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna
She
disagree
was
with
like
you.
the
You gonna just
she
I'm gonna
was
disagree with you. I mean, Aaliyah was hot. Don't get me wrong. Ooh, but I Brandy was on her SHIT, and then Moesha came out like Cinderella. Like
yeah, she had Brandy, I feel like out of the three,
I would choose
Brandy had
Brandy.
a little more going. Out of the three, Aaliyah probably was my personal favorite. I feel like she was the people's favorite, kind of like at that time, because even in the industry, like Aaliyah was hanging out with everybody
Yeah,
versus like, you know, and maybe it might because they were teenage girls, at that time, so maybe, Brandy and Monica, their parents were a little more like oh, okay, like being more
Monica was
of
street.
like observant, like who they were probably around, I guess, in regards to the industry.
Monica was around C Murder. She dated C Murder for years, so no, she definitely no. Monica was she like bad.
Well, I guess. Oh no. I know what type of time Monica on.
Yeah.
I guess I'm talking about in regards to like seeing them around and being around a whole bunch of other celebrities.
Oh yeah, okay, got you.
You know.
See, I think this me personally. I think if the situation did not happen, I think Aaliyah would have had a longer career. And like when I say long career, like say more relevant than both of them. Because I love Brandy. I love Brandy, but I don't feel like at this stage they both are they relevant to an extent for us, our generation. But I'm saying as time prevailed and went on with the crossover.
Saying that you feel like if Aaliyah was still here, she would probably be more relevant to the next generation after us versus how.
Yeah, I think she would have been. I think she would have been like on the Beyonce stuff. I think she would have been on the Beyonce stuff.
I mean,
because I think she was just getting started. And that last album, I love her last album before she passed away.
Because I didn't have a chance to really listen to it until they actually put it on streaming. Because, for a while they didn't have like all of her stuff
right.
on
streaming. Oh yeah, because the family was like they blocked it until it was a certain time period when the record label won't make no more money off of it, and they'd go directly to the family. But they blocked it out, and soon I think they ended last year. That's when they released
2021, I think, is whenever they put. Because the only album that was on streaming was
First
one.
Yeah, that was on there, and now all of them on there. So now they blown up, and I see a lot of Aaliyah fans told. I remember it was like a year ago, and they said they was going back and forth with Beyonce fans. And some of y'all, I said y'all lucky when Aaliyah died because Aaliyah was like right now when we talking about Beyonce. It was a big going back and forth. They were going back and forth.
I mean, I would disagree with that. It's just you just really never know how things would play out. Now, granted, Beyonce's solo career started taking off after she passed. Yes. And but I feel like she could have possibly still did her. She probably she would have possibly still been on the same level even if she was still here. And probably would have been a little more competitive.
Right.
But yeah, Beyonce, they're too different. Like they way too different. Like Aaliyah was real
cool, man.
laid back or whatever. I mean, Beyonce laid back too, but I guess in regards to artistry, like Beyonce is a little more out there, versus Aaliyah, in my opinion. Aaliyah, two different styles, man.
Yeah.
I'm just keep it at that.
Yeah, I think, but me personally, just watching what Aaliyah started off and how her career was going, I felt like she would have been a couple steps ahead of Beyonce, and it wouldn't have been Beyonce world like it is now. Which I'm not knocking Beyonce; she's doing her thing. I just think when Aaliyah was getting started, and she was just getting started, I think she would have been at that next level, and she would have surpassed definitely Brandy and Monica because to me, Aaliyah appealed to more than just the R&B community. See, to me, Brandy and Monica, they're great artists, great singers. They appeal to really one demographic.
Not Brandy. No, now that I'm gonna disagree with. Brandy, no, I feel like Brandy definitely appeals more to a popular community, more than Monica for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandy's.
Yeah, I'll give you that more than Monica. But I just look at like.
I get what you're saying, though.
I think Aaliyah would have crossed over, and I ain't gonna bring that. I'm gonna leave that out. I ain't gonna bring that part into it because I don't want to do nothing on. But no, I just like I was always been a Aaliyah fan. Like I say, to me, if they were all having well, I don't know what Aaliyah would have out in there, but back in the day, if they had all had a concert, I'm gonna go see Aaliyah first, and probably Monica. Actually, I love Brandy, but Brandy be third. I like Monica. Monica got some classics. Like
I like all of them.
I like all of them. All of them good and stuff like that. Sure. But we'll jump real quick. We're gonna jump onto producers and music. We finna jump onto somebody we probably go get a lot of heat from, which I don't care because I'm just be honest. One of the greatest producers of all time, R. Kelly.
Hey, the GOAT.
Hands down. R. Kelly. I don't care how everybody feel about him, what they said about him, what's going on. I don't care about it. His personal life had nothing to do with what he created in the studio.
Or did it?
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
get the people going.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause he probably did create. He probably did create some of the stuff outside his music in the studio, but that's besides the point. It was good. He did a good job at it. What? How did you feel about R. Kelly as an artist, as a producer from the '90s, early '90s, even some he did probably late '80s? No,
No.
'90s. No, he was '90, but he did something in the '80s. I don't know if he was producing or something. I know he did. I gotta look back up. I remember seeing
You
something.
said, how do I feel about R.
But
Kelly?
yeah,
I mean, what is there not to feel? He's perfect. And that's my final answer.
he's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
So what are some of the stuff that R. Kelly has done that really that
Everything.
you're not happy, Keisha. You're not
I'm screaming.
what,
Um,
like any tracks, any songs, anything, what album that like a classic that
come on, age ain't nothing but a number.
okay.
The title in itself, like it explains everything.
I'm skeptical saying about the age of them now, R. Kelly, but
Hey, it is what it is. What happened. I wasn't there. But you can't discredit
yeah,
you can't
genius.
discredit him for anything because what he did when it came to music, if you're not Quincy, Jimmy Jam, if you're not one of them, he's top 5.
Okay.
He don't work with Caucasian. He don't work with blacks. He don't work with everybody. You can't knock him.
Eh,
That's one person. That's like one person. Like if he were to do a versus, like it's no point of doing a versus with him at all because he probably wrote your music. So
he be bound, you be battling. He like, oh, hold on.
yeah,
He like, just to let you know, I wrote that too.
yeah,
He said, so hey, actually, I won both. I won both. The
yeah.
battle right here, so I
No,
won. I
yeah.
just won regardless. Let's move on to the next song.
No, for
So
real.
you and R. Kelly, what your take?
Okay, this is my take on R. Kelly. Keisha is probably one of the the first people that loves R. Kelly just as much, probably even more than I do. But R. Kelly is hands down my top male R&B artist. Um, next to Michael Jackson. Michael's in a lane of his own, but Kel's is, and as far as I can remember, it was just something about his swag and his aura that I gravitated to. Even as a child, one of the, like I said, Back and Forth is probably one of the first songs that I can remember as a child. Just about every song that I can recollect in my memory, either was the artist or he produced. Changing Faces, Stroke You Up is probably another song that I can remember, like, okay, like that's one of the first songs I can remember hearing on the radio. Um, he's just he's just one of a kind. Like he's just the GOAT.
He's a genius.
He's the GOAT.
He is a genius.
Production, songwriting, even as a solo artist, whenever people bring up the conversation about, oh, like, well, who's the real king of R&B? I'm just like, Kel's like, regardless of what may have taken place, like, I mean, I can't be the one to judge that. Now, do I agree with the alleged activities? No. Do I condone that? No. But I just know how to separate the two. I
Yeah.
can separate the artist from music because when I was learning, all this music and all this stuff was going on, like I was oblivious to all this
Yeah.
other stuff. So some people, when they be like, oh, why cancel Kels or whatever, it's just like, oh, he was talking about children in that song. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about it.
I'm like, that doesn't come to
Right.
me when I'm listening to certain songs. Like, I'm not envisioning like all
Right.
these alleged acts. I'm like, probably because whenever the songs came out and I learned the songs, like
Yeah.
that wasn't a thing. But yeah, that was just the goal for me. Period.
It's
Him and
like
Mary,
that's his top 2.
yeah.
And mine is Tony and R. Kelly.
I got you. Yeah, like I said, R. Kelly, to me, hands down, I probably have had all his CDs. I don't have them no more. I don't keep CDs, but I had every CD. I think Some of my favorite music come from R. Kelly. Some of the music he produced. He produced Janet Jackson, and he did the remix to Anytime and Any Place.
That was another
I love that.
1994 R. Kelly. 30 years later, 1994. Like R. Kelly literally had the game on lock, doing remixes to people. Like he even who can remix their own songs with just them on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a hit just with them on it.
Right.
Come on now. That Bump and Grind remix. That Anytime, Any Place remix. I love Jamie Lewis, but the original and the remix is just two different vibes. But I feel like, sometimes a lot of times a remix may not can kind of go toe to toe with the original, but I feel like they both on the same level to me.
When I going back, I think one of my favorite tracks by R. Kelly, and he got many. I can't really pick one, but if I had to pick one that just really popped in my head, it's "Step in the Name of Love." I love that song.
Yes.
Oh my god, I love that. And I just had the other one on my mind. I actually I did love the what was that? The Trapped in the Closet whole series. That was hilarious. I love that.
Another point. This man literally created a whole
movie
soap opera, a whole song soap opera that he did by himself. All them characters by himself. Like I remember when Trapped in the Closet dropped that summer of 2005. I was going to high school, and we didn't have social media, wasn't what it was and everything. So it's just like we literally waiting on the radio, we dropping part 3, Trapped in the Closet on Friday at 5:00. We outside in the heat, like literally in the car with the doors open at 5:00 so we can hear this third part of Trapped in the Closet. It was just like the anticipation of the fall. Nobody has done that. Nobody's done that.
Just thought about my favorite. I think this probably definitely in the top 3, but it popped in my head When a Woman's Fed Up. That's one of my favorite R. Kelly tracks. I can listen to that over and over and
I can't. I don't even want to say I can choose a favorite track because it's so many. But if I had to pinpoint it to one, right now, it was on Chocolate Factory, Heart of a Woman.
Okay. Yes.
Got to.
Love that whole album.
Yeah. The song just resonates to. It's like how people think of him is like he doesn't respect women. He doesn't all of this, but he can make some of the most beautiful songs that resonates to us women and what we go through. So I don't know if it was from relationships, from what he saw his mama go through. I don't know, but that Heart of a Woman is just like one of my top.
You saying that I'm gonna go listen to the album after the show. But go ahead.
I don't really have like one.
I don't have. That's why I said I didn't have
favorite because all of them kind of put me in different spaces. When you mentioned "Step in the Name of Love," I was like in middle school when that came out. Dead and Happy People, and even then, like I could, if I'm like feeling down or whatever, like I listen to "Step in the Name of Love," and it'll put me back in a better space, a better mood. Same with Happy People. So it's just like I just connect with the music like on a different level. So like when it was the whole cancel thing, I'm just like, I'm sorry, like I can't, like I know what the music does for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But top 5. I'm gonna just choose 5. Step in My Room from off of the R. Kelly album. Bump and Grind remix. Did I say Step in My Room?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I Can't Sleep. I used to like the original version. I mean, I used to like the remix more when I was younger, but when I got older, I prefer the OG better. I'll Never Leave. It's on the Chocolate Factory album. I just got so much.
It's hard. I'm saying trying to think.
It's too much.
It's too much.
It's way too much.
Strip
and dedicated.
Strip for You.
Dedicated.
Because that's my song.
Yeah, Dedicated was probably like if I go on my Apple Music and you know how they have the every year, like Dedicated definitely be in the top like 3 every year.
Yeah.
it's just smooth as a vibe.
I don't know. I just wasn't ready to when a woman's fed up sticks out to me because I know that's such true. That whole song from beginning to end is
That's
like
an
legitimate
identical
true
song.
about a woman. When she's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it, and that's so true. And I be singing that song with him.
La, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then I thought it's a I can't remember. It's a song that was never released that's on Chocolate Factory I like, but it's the whole album genius. The whole from beginning to end. What's the one with the ribbon on the front? The yellow one with the ribbon on the front. Okay, yeah, that picture just sits out to me. Also, I Believe I Could Fly because I actually tried to jump off thing and really fly. One of the little green things for the room. He did that when
No. Yeah, no, R. Kelly, hands down.
Yeah.
He took over the 90s, 2000s.
He really did.
Yeah.
And he made some great music for
And
us.
then he's multi-generational, in my opinion, as well. But on the neck in the 90s, on the neck in the 2000s, even in the 2010s, he was still making music. Like, even in the late 2000s, like, So Much Cheaper was getting him on remixes. Like, he was on basically everything. Like, I had a King of the Remix series that I did where I literally posted
everything
remixes
that
he was on, and this was like 4 different parts. So that's 3 or 4 parts. That's about 30, 40 songs of remixes. Not original songs, like remixes. That he's either done for himself or that he's been featured.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, the 90s.
We get very passionate when it comes to him.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Excuse us.
Oh no. I mean, R. Kelly's on my top 5 list of all time. So hands down, he's up there. 90s just has such great music. To talk about the whole era in one show.
Yeah, we would have to dig deeper. Yeah,
it go deep because I didn't even mention my girl, but Janet, that was her music. Like Janet album,
the 90s Janet was a whole.
The Velvet Rope to me is hands down one of her best albums. That was actually my first tour. I got to see her on the Velvet Rope tour. I took Greyhound, which was funny, down to Tampa to see her in concert, and my mom was so nervous because I was. I ain't gonna say how old I was, but I was close. I was the age, and I was young, and she didn't really want me to, and she knew I wanted to. And I took time. I left my house at like 7:00 that night to go down to the Greyhound station downtown Atlanta, which was very dangerous.
Yeah,
my first time trying by myself. I took my backpack, my music. I had her cassette tape, CD player. I had a CD player and a cassette tape because some of her had her old music on cassette. And I took Greyhound down to Tampa. Went down there, caught the Greyhound. The concert was the very next night. I arrived there like 12:00 during the day. So I walked down to Ice Palace because that's the name of the arena. Waited outside just the whole day, got something to eat. Ran into some other fans, ran another guy around about my age and his mom and them. So I hung out with them. We were walking, we stood around the whole time. She said, "You can hang with us." And she was like, "You can't hang by yourself." I said, "Yeah, my mom." She said, "I know your mom." I said, "Yeah, she is." But I already called and talked to her when every stop I talked to her. We hung out. We met some of the dancers. Then we went we waited for the concert to start. And I'm gonna tell you a real quick story, which was one of my biggest heartbreakers. So we was on the 3rd row. We got 3rd row too because the fan club back then, you get easy, and we get
$20 tickets.
Well, we paid $120 on 3rd row seat, but it was for 2 tickets. It was $100. So I gave my ticket. I had a second ticket because nobody came with me, so I gave it to one of his mom. His mom came, his sister came, he came, and another person came, but she was all the way in the back. I gave her my ticket, so she got to move up there with us, and I said, "You can have it," because I wasn't going to use it. I was on the 3rd row, and so at that time when Jenny used to pull a guy up on stage. So I don't talk to a couple of the dancers I know. And I was like, "Hey, tell Janet I'm out here. I'm gonna be standing in my chair. I'm gonna have a towel. I'm gonna be waving the towel. Pick me." And we were talking. I said, "I really want to get on stage." And she said, okay, cool. So Janet got to the part she's singing. I get so lonely. And then everybody's like, "Okay, it's your turn. So then they was like, "I won't no one but you." When she was walking, she was leaning, she was walking. Then one of her dancers went up. I jumped up my child, waving the towel. Teresa down leaned over to her and whispered to her and pointed directly down at me. Oh God, this is a true story. I jump up in the chair, and Janet looked, and she's like, "You," pointed directly at me. This bald-headed motherfucker right in front of me jumped up, and security grabbed him. I was so fucking livid, and I'm cussing like a mother. I was livid the rest of the concert because everybody knew she pointed at me. And he was bigger than me, like a big muscle. I was standing up in the chair. He was sitting down. He wasn't standing up. And I was waving my tongue. And she pointed at you. And he stood up, security grabbed him. He got on stage. I told him, oh God, I wanted to punch him in the back of the head so bad when he got in front of him. I mean, and I couldn't enjoy the concert no more. I was done.
Oh man, yeah, that would have blew me.
And I was so heartbroken. And everybody was sitting beside me like, that was you. She picked you. And I said, yeah, but then security grabbed him. And he got back. I had a picture and stuff like that. I'm like, you look punk. I was like this.
I would have been mad.
But if I was in Georgia, I would have went to jail because I would have hit him dead in the back of the head. I would have gotten escorted out there because I was out of town. So I said, no, I ain't finna do nothing stupid. But I sat down. They're like, I couldn't enjoy the concert no more. I was just quiet.
Yeah, that would have blew me. Damn. Yeah,
it was sad. And I couldn't look at it. And I couldn't look at that segment of the concert until probably 2010. 2011 when I first time. I used to skip past it. I used to look at it on tape. Oh no, I had the Velvet Rope on tape. I used to fast forward through. I wouldn't even watch that part. I'd skip right past that part. It would bring up memories.
Yeah, now she ain't doing that no more.
But I'm glad. I'm
fully clothed.
I know. Well, she got a key. I understand the response. I respect it. But yeah, that's just one of the memories from. I would never forget that memory when he jumped up from. Because that was supposed to be me on stage. That supposed to be me tied up in that chair and getting that kid. You know, it's all good. It's all good.
Bless your heart.
But yeah, so the 90s is so much out there we could talk about the 90s, and I don't ramble on about my memory, going out memory lane, which is heartbreaking. Jenna, if you see this, I wish it was me. You probably don't remember. But we're gonna jump to my favorite part of the show. We'll talk about top 5 from the 90s. And I kind of already know your 1 and 2 already over here to the right. But she already said she got hers in order.
We'll see.
So number 5, who will be your number 5 person?
As far as from least to greatest or greatest to least?
Least to greatest. So it started with number 1 gonna be the best.
Let me start with the best. R. Kelly is gonna be the best.
You went out of order.
I'm sorry. I can't think of. Yeah.
Number 1 with me. I think we're going from best to great. Janet gonna be number. That's when I really started watching, listening to her music more, and falling more in love with her.
Second is Toni Braxton. Yes.
Michelle.
Mary Jane Blige.
I knew Mary Jane. I knew Mary Jane over here. Yes, mine's gonna be the late great Michael Jackson, because that's when I actually the History album is to me one of my top 5 albums, top 10 favorite albums of all time. I can listen to that from beginning to end, especially Earth Song and You're Not Alone. I just love the classic. You're Not Alone. That whole video, I did that performance. I ripped my shirt open when he did. Oh my God. I did that. Yeah. I try to hit that note. Boy, I can't do it. I can't do it.
You can tell Cal's wrote that shit. That shit just sound like something he was saying. Yeah. Like you could Cal's is all over that song.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3, MJB, of course, Mary J.
I'm gonna go Michael as well.
Okay. Mine's is MC Mariah Carey. I got to give Mariah Carey. I love, like I said, my All Honey, Fantasy. The album, classic. Like when she came out, she started out with the Hero, and then she turned around. By the end of the night, she was naked. I love it. I love her and Janet both just show all that titties. Good job. I'm sorry. Number 4.
90s. 90. I'm trying to think. There's so many.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
I could go with my number 4 while y'all waiting. Number 4 will be Whitney Houston, the voice, one of the greatest voices of all time. Very talented, well missed. I've always been a fan. Even though she went through her demons in her life, to me, still one of the best. I love her performances. I'm gonna tell you a quick, small story. I almost met Whitney and Bobby, and the reason why I did not meet them, I'm really pissed. I used to work at the Chili's in Alpharetta, and I gave my shift away that night. And then I come in there, they said, Bobby and Whitney was here yesterday. I said, you lying.
They could have tipped you big, baby.
Oh no, they loved out. He did the card bounce. They didn't pay. They didn't hit card bounce and everything. But my boss gave him the food free. He like, I ain't gonna charge. That Bobby and Whitney. They charged 2 cards and both of them Whitney didn't go through. But they said they was having a good time, and I like. God fucking the day I gave my shift away. I gave my shift away because I didn't want to work that day. And Bobby and Whitney came into the damn restaurant, and I was like, man, I would love that because I would have tipped. I wouldn't give it. I wouldn't even care about the tip. Just to wait on Whitney and Bobby, y'all have to tip me. I ain't gonna be mad. Y'all could have ran out on the check. I just want to sit down and talk to y'all. But they say they were. He said, "Be on." They said they was hot.
You know
It
who
was
I
hot.
would
But that would be fun.
choose as my fourth? I would choose Brandy.
Okay.
I
My
rocks with B
fourth,
Rocker. I rocks with B.
my fourth. It's just so many. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna do no group.
You
But,
forgot. I was gonna say you forgot your
I'll
boy
do.
Jesse. Your boys.
I'll do Aaliyah before,
Okay.
and I guess while it's still on me, I'll get my fifth. My fifth, I'm probably gonna go with the Notorious B.I.G. Just to add.
Yeah, we ain't even talk about him, but yeah,
We ain't
definitely.
even
Oh,
touch
we ain't
hip
get
hop.
into
We
we
ain't even
ain't get
really.
into
Yeah,
hip
We ain't
hop.
even talk about Babyface.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Like as a
Oh,
producer,
dang,
you know
since
what?
the 90s, we just we're limited.
Yeah. And
But
Babyface could have been pulled from the producers in
yeah,
1980s.
oh
definitely.
yeah, and for my fifth,
Yeah.
if we're gonna do rappers, then I'm gonna definitely do Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, Tupac, my favorite rapper of all time. But if I had to do my number five, it's gonna be a three-way tie, which I'm gonna give. I hate to put it. It's gonna be Boyz II Men / Toni Braxton / Mary J. Blige. They're gonna be all wrapped up
Mm.
because I got to give credit to that because I love Mary J. from back in the day.
I love her from back in the day, from now.
Oh yeah, I do too. I said I love Mary J.
Like
I love her
the
on
repeat
Power.
that repeat that she had, like them first 3 albums,
Yeah,
like
and then
and
solid.
not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
and then that on Power, I love her on that.
Oh my
Oh
name.
yeah.
Yeah, I love Mona. I love Mona. I love Mona. And then I like the fact that she's producing what's in a new album. Was it One More?
Yeah,
One
Wayne
year.
Mo-
Kanye Kid.
Yeah, I love that. I love that group. I'm actually gonna try. I'm trying my best to see if I can get them to do my show. I'm gonna try to reach out to their mom. I would love to get them on because I think that they make me want to actually back listen to R&B because I love their voice and their vocals, and so they got some good
Yeah,
music.
they're talented, but
I just
something about it is not like
yeah,
sticking for me.
yeah.
I feel like and it's not taken away from their talent because they are extremely, extremely talented. But I feel like it's like a because no, well, I don't know if that's the word I want to use,
No,
but
that's not the word.
because of
Who
their
their
dad
father
being who their
is,
father is,
yeah.
I feel like it's a lot of pressure because that lead one that looked just like him, I feel like he tries to like
He wants to be one year.
like before Mary started working with them and they were just like putting their stuff out on social
From the
media.
hand movements, the
Yeah,
head
I'm just
gestures,
like,
yeah.
just be yourself. Like that's my thing. I'm just like, you don't have to be your daddy.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Diddy and his son, but that's another
Yeah, I
story.
feel like you don't. You're very. The vocals and everything is there. The talent is definitely there. Put your own spin on it. You don't have to be
Your daddy.
dad. But I feel like it's kind of like a forced product.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I guess
Forced
we're
is a
gonna
good
do.
word.
I don't see it that way. I think they're in the league of their own. I love their voice. I think everybody, even the sister, all of them
Like
got
I say, all
voice.
of them extremely talented.
Very
I'm
talented.
We ain't
not
gonna take
taking
that away
that.
from him.
And I love the
I'm
music. I
not
love their
trying to-
voice, and I've started following them all on social media. And I don't really like most artists, but I don't even like young artists.
Oh,
But
Tevin Campbell.
yeah, we ain't even talk about
Nice.
Tevin Cameron. We ain't even talk about Tevin.
I love
We had so
Tevin.
much we could have
I
talked
run
about.
him to the ground.
So let's go with most overhyped for the 90s. Then we go wrap up the show. I could go on and give y'all my first one.
Go ahead.
My first one is Biggie. I'm not a Biggie fan. I don't believe in the whole. They say he's the greatest rapper of all time. He got songs I like, but I think they overhype Biggie to me in my eyes. So I would put him as one of the most overhyped.
Y'all probably gonna beat me up when I say my answer.
But
I was gonna say Aaliyah. When I think about the 90s and Aaliyah's not, she's definitely not the first person that comes to my mind.
She's not first person on my mind. I agree with you on that.
Overhyped.
I agree with you on that because he won't be the first come. She won't be in the top 10. She won't be in the top 10. I love Aaliyah, but she's not gonna be in the top 10. It's too much in the 90s to say that because she didn't have as much impact in the 90s as a lot of artists who started out in 91, 90 and stuff like that. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
I'm trying to see like
Come on, Soulface Media.
Who's somebody I think is overrated? And the shit probably gonna hit me after the fact, but it is not coming to me right now. I'd have to look at a list of like, oh yeah, that person. But it's nobody off the top of my head that I can be like.
And that's okay.
You know, I do believe that it is probably a couple people that I feel like is overrated, but it's just not coming.
Well, it's not R. Kelly. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Real quick, I just want to say one more. I agree. I like y'all. So hey, don't hold nothing but said on here. I think y'all a great group and stuff. So y'all my group. I respect y'all, and I think y'all a new coming of voice, man. So keep doing what y'all doing. Definitely. I appreciate y'all being guests on this show. We got to talk about it. There's so much in the 90s we skipped.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't have enough time. We got to do another show in the 90s. That's what we probably do. The 90s got to be. I think it could be done in like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shows because you got so many things we don't skip. We ain't talk about Lauryn Hill. I mean, come on, that album, Miseducation of Love, the Fugees, there's like so much. We can get to Tupac, Dr. Dre, the start of the South when it came to Cash Money Records and
Bad
Boys and No Limit Soldiers, and we got about Slip and Slide, even though they just kind of started towards the end of the late 90s. Yeah,
that whole era with Genuine and Misty, all of them, you know, the 90s.
Ghost Town DJs. We didn't get to talk about Freak Neat.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't even talk about Uncle Luke and them. Like
Freak Neat was like, I went to Freak Neat. I got to go to Freak Neat, and I was too young, but I was there. I remember being stuck on the highway.
That sound like me and Bike Week in Myrtle Beach. Too young to be out there, but to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
I know we went over the time and stuff like that, but like I said, I do appreciate y'all being on the show. Keisha, thanks for joining me. Soulface, thanks for joining me. It was great. Yes, like I said, when we got to the 90s, it was so much we could have talked about.
It was an R. Kelly frenzy.
Yeah, it was them R. Kelly. To me, I'm sorry, y'all. Some people may disagree, but it definitely one of the GOATs. I mean, definitely one of the greatest all time. I mean, besides his personal life, I don't look at personal. I look at what he did in the studio. Right. Even though some of his personal life probably was in that studio, but still, the point is, he dropped some of the greatest albums of all time in the R&B group. Is he the original king of R&B? Yes, to me. I always tell people he is the king of R&B. Usher is number 2 on that list. That's just me personally. I got
because I'm just like
Usher second.
You can't really compare it. Like who Usher produced for, who Usher wrote songs for.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at. I'm taking away from credit. I'm just talking about artistry, like music, singing. Yeah, I'm king of R&B. Definitely be him. Then Usher. I'm a huge Usher man. I didn't even get to talk about Usher as much in here, but you know, this your boy DT. I appreciate everybody tuning into the show. This your make sure you follow me on all social media. Make sure you follow Soulface on his Instagram, Soulface Media. Correct?
Yes, Soulface
Media. Soulface Media, just like you spell Soulface Media. You can follow Keisha on.
I don't have any platform.
Do you want no, she don't want y'all to follow her.
It's a secret.
Yeah, she's a secret. Even though we talk to her on Instagram all the time. You make sure you follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, all the platforms. Subscribe to my channel. Everything's at the bottom, at the top of my screen. We'll see you for the next episode when we discuss the 2000. This is your boy DT. Until next time.
It's DT. You have just now listened to the most talked about podcast in the country. DT, Unfiltered. Thank you for tuning in and see you next time. Damn. DT.